About It reviews, and we're reviewing The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, directed by Francis Lawrence, starring Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks. Now, this is a spoiler review because, you know what, I'm assuming you guys, this is the biggest movie, one of the biggest movies of the year. So I'm pretty sure all of you guys are going to go watch this no matter what. I mean, my opinion is not going to really change anything. It's really just a discussion. So I'm going to spoil a little bit of it. I'm not going to get too much into this movie or too much into spoiler territory. I'm just going to let you know my thoughts on what I thought about coming back from watching this. I just got done watching it. Caught the 10:15 showing. Didn't get out until 12:30. About 12:30. So like about 2 hours. Not too. It was pretty packed. It's not too bad. It wasn't too bad. But let's just get right down into it. This film was. It was good. It was good. You know, I enjoyed it. I was never bored. I never felt like it was too long. It flowed. The pacing was great. The tone was great. The acting was awesome, including Philip Seymour Hoffman. Man, it's such a tragedy. But you know, he did what he did, and that's what happened. But he was a great talent. I really just remember him though in Long Came Polly. I just loved him in that movie. But he was great in this film, and so was Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore was great. I mean, she reminded me of the one I can't remember that one actress from Elysium, but she definitely had a part to play. She was Madam President in this, and pretty much to get the whole gist of this is basically Katniss. She gets taken by the revolution, and Julianne Moore is the Madam President of the whole thing. She's the one that's starting this up. Philip Seymour Hoffman is like the second in command, and they pretty much want her to be the symbol. They want her to lead the revolution. She's the hope. She's the one that really brings all the morale up, and they want her to do this job where what I like about Katniss's character is she never wanted it. She never wanted to rebel. She just wanted to survive. She's a survivalist. She's, you know, just trying to get things done, and that's it. She never wanted to be bigger than what she is. Well, she's thrown into the lion's den, and she has to become this symbol for all humanity. So she has pretty much all of these people's lives in her hand, and they will follow her no matter what. So it definitely takes a toll on her mentality and physically too, as we see in this film. And also, so while they have her become a symbol, we see PETA on the other side and the Capitol capturing him. And they do a lot we saw in this movie, they did like this kind of drug thing, torturing him and making him believe that Katniss was evil, and really just uh, Snow was basically just, playing around with Katniss, was playing with her mentality, because Snow is just an evil guy, and Donald Sutherland is just awesome. He was just great, as he's always great as Snow. He's such an evil little bastard. But I really, the reason I think this, I mean, everything was great. It was fine. There was little moments where I was like, oh, they're gonna go to part one, shake, or the first Hunger Games, a little shaky cam here, a little shake there, a little shake here, but they you think it's gonna be a shaky cam all the time, but no, they move on to a next shot where it's just the cameras on the tripod, and you can see everything clearly. So the direction was great as well, the editing was great as well. Splitting the movies into two parts was probably a good idea because there's so much material, I guess, in this last book. There's so much going on. And they pretty much wanted to build up. This film felt so much like a build up to something even greater. And I think the last movie is definitely going to be the best out of these two. I don't know if it's better than Catching Fire. I thought Catching Fire was a better film. Is the best film of this series, of this franchise. But this movie really felt like a setup to me. I mean, it by all means wasn't, bad. It was actually, like I said, I enjoyed it, but it just really felt like a back and forth between Katniss and PETA, the Revolution, and the Capitol. It just felt like a WWE match, like The Rock, just coming out. It's like, oh, finally, The Rock has come back to the Hunger Games. And then you have the other end, you have Stone Cold coming in, and he's like, what? That's basically how it was. It was like a pro wrestling match where it's just back and forth until we hit that scene with the bombing and basically when the Capitol finds when PETA was warning them that the Capitol was coming after them. They were going to bomb them. So that's where it really picked up. The intensity, everything started picking up, and then them rescuing PETA and the others really picked up as well. So towards the end of the second act to the third act, it really, or maybe just the third act in general, really became very fascinating, very intense, very good. The ending I had no problem with because you know it's going to be part two. So her looking at PETA as he's, trying to get out of there, and Julianne Moore saying her speech. It's whatever. You knew it was going to be like a Matrix style ending. That was fine. But I gotta say the acting was great. Jennifer Lawrence, though, her acting was okay in this film. I thought she did a better job in the other films. Honestly, I thought the speech she gave, not the not the phony speech they try to make her make, but the genuine speech she made when she saw the hospital and saw these, all when all the dead were burnt after the bombing. That speech, I just felt like she could have done better as an actress. I just didn't really believe her, and it didn't look like it's not that speech didn't really want me to go, yeah, rah rah rah, all about the Mockingjay, this bird that yay. I will say though, that song that she sang, even though I hate when they have actors and stuff like, go ahead, sing, it's your spotlight. I did like the song, not so much Jennifer Lawrence's um, singing, but I did like the song, and I did like the revolution they were going. They were going like when they blew up the water tower and the power. That was great. That was a great scene as well. Um, but overall, I mean, there is some questions though, in this film. I mean, it just definitely just felt like a setup movie, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I can't really praise it too much. Like I can't say, oh, it was amazing. It's the best movie, top 10. It might be in your top 10. It might be in your top five. But honestly, this film was just good. It wasn't, amazing. It was just good. I recommend it anyway because it's a film that you should watch in the theater. You should at least watch it once. If you're interested in this franchise, we're already two movies in, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna go watch this anyway. So it's definitely a recommendation because I feel like the next movie will be something special. Is it going to be Catching Fire special? I don't know. But all I know is that Elizabeth Banks and Woody Harrelson bring a smile to my face. I love those two characters. I love their interaction. Just not wish there was more of them. And you know what? I really take PETA for granted. I really take Josh Hutcherson and his chemistry with Katniss for granted. I really missed that how this whole film they really were apart during this whole film except the ending. Maybe that's why I like Catching Fire a little bit more because those two were together during the whole film. And this one, it really did feel like they were apart, and that kind of made me sad. I was like, oh, I kind of missed the chemistry they had. And Liam Hemsworth and Jennifer Lawrence, it was fine. Gail and Katniss, that was fine. I kind of was like, it's like in this triangle romance thing. I was like, come on, Katniss, just pick one already. Just don't kiss him and say, and he gives that line like, "You only notice me when I'm hurt." I'm just throwing up my hands like, "Come on, Candace. You know you're in love with uh, what's Josh Hutcherson, PETA. You know you're in love with PETA. Why don't you just say it? Just say it already." But I did like the little conversation her and Fennec, something like that, Fennec had, and but he was really a wimp in this one. I was like, come on, dude, you should be on Katniss' side when he was giving that speech and talking about how Snow pretty much came to power and poisoned everybody. So there was there's a lot of information, there's a lot of setup, there's a lot of learning about the revolution, there's a lot of them trying to convince Katniss to be in this revolution. There's a lot of Katniss really learning what this revolution's all about. So there's a lot of character interactions, finding out stuff, us the audience finding out what's going on. But so like I said, it's just really just an informational kind of movie. It was really a setup. So like I said, if you guys are already in two movies in there, you're gonna watch this. So I definitely strongly recommend it. If you don't want to watch Hunger Games at all, though, aren't a fan of Hunger Games, Netflix. There's a film called Battle Royale. There's been controversy on the first Hunger Games, actually of the Hunger Games series in general, that they ripped off Battle Royale. It's a foreign movie. It's pretty much somewhat the same premise. It kind of is when if you look at the first one and that. Yeah, it is. It's pretty much a ripoff. But go if you don't watch. I recommend this Hunger Games Mockingjay Part One. But if you don't want to watch this movie or you don't care about the Hunger Games series, go to Netflix if you have it or go rent it. Watch Battle Royale. Battle Royale is a hardcore rated R graphic film that is somewhat the style of Hunger Games but done much better because it's so in your face. I recommend that movie so much. Hunger Games, I don't have a problem with this franchise. I think it's solid. I think it's great. I thought the second one was awesome, but if that's not your cup of tea, if you're not the PG-13 type, there's a rated R battle royale. Go check it out, Netflix. So that's one of the recommendations I have to recommend for you. Other than that, I recommend this movie. Go ahead. I didn't think it was amazing, but I thought it was a good, solid informational movie. And that's my thoughts on it, guys. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I make these videos to hear what you guys got to say. If you like this video, please push the like button. I make videos for you every single day. I work hard on them. So please subscribe. And thank you guys for listening. And like I always say, grab a ticket or grab a tick, grab a seat, enjoy some good popcorn to eat. I'll see you at the cinema, guys. Later.